Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly. So I'm here with part 2 of my Valentine's mini album tutorial. For this tutorial, I'm using the Bow Bunny Only You paper collection. But also, if you were interested on my previous Valentine's album using Photoplay, you could also follow this tutorial. I'll guide you through it, how to do it. So we're going to be working on our page construction. So we're going to be using an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I'm going to score at 5.5, and I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay, so then I'm just gonna bend it, and then we're gonna turn this also and just mark my score line here, and then we're going to cut out one of the flaps for one of the sides. So all we're gonna do is just, you can use your paper trimmer, but I think it's just faster to do it with your scissors. And then so when you get here, you're just gonna go at an angle just like that, and then all you're gonna do is just fold this piece over, and then we're gonna add some double-sided tape, or you can add some glue just like that. And then we are going to join these two together just like that. So that's gonna be your page constructions, pretty simple. And we are going to need 7 of these pages if we are doing the Gatefold album for the Bow Bunny, or if you want to do the Photoplay album, this one, you only need 4 of these page constructions. Okay, so I have my 7 pieces here. So then for the layouts, let me grab another piece. So for the layouts, I'm just going to prepare ahead what we're going to be using. So again, I'm going to start with the 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to trim this piece at 5.5, which is right at half here. And then 1, I'm going to turn around and trim at 8 inches. Okay, and I'm going to score this one that is 8 by 5.5. I'm going to score this piece 1/2 inch. Okay, just like that. And then the other piece that measures 5.5 by 8.5, we're going to place it along the 8.5 side and score again at 1/2 inch. So that way you have one page that's going to have the flap on the top, and one page that's going to have the flap on the side. So from one sheet of paper, you're gonna get 2 different layouts, and I'm going to do probably 4, or actually maybe 5 of the same. So you're gonna do 5 of each one of these. So next we're gonna grab another piece of 8.5 by 11, and I'm gonna trim it along the short side here at 7.25. Okay, so I have a piece of 7.25, and then this piece I'm going to score. You can probably see the score lines here because I was already doing it, and Okay, so we're going to score at 5.25, and then you're going to score at 10.5. Okay, so then you're gonna have a piece like this, and then we're gonna bend it along the score lines, and then same with this little flap here. Okay, so then you're gonna need 2 of these layouts, and I'm trying to build the layouts ahead of time, that way I think it'll be easier to put together. And then the last thing we're gonna do is just grab another piece here, and this is just a piece of my scraps, and this measures about 3 inches by 11. So I'm going to trim the 11-inch side at 6.5 inches. So this piece will be 6.5 by 3, and I'm going to score 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch on this side, and then 1/2 inch again. And this is going to be for a pocket. So we are going to need 2 of these little pockets. So I'm just going to mark the score lines, and I think we're going to start building our layouts now. So I have my base pages here, and I'm going to start working one at a time. If you're only doing the photo play album, you will only need to do the first 4, and the other 3 will be only for if you want to make the gatefold album. So for the first layout, I'm gonna grab one of the pieces that have the score on the top, the flap on the top, and I'm going to add my tape on my little flap here, and I'm just going to add this piece along the top. Now be careful and make sure that the opening for your page is on the left side. That way this will go onto the spine on this side of the gatefold. Let me show you what I mean. So make sure that the opening is on this side, so this will go into this side like this. Okay, so let me put this on the side, and that's going to be my very first layout here. So let me remove this tape. Now I only just remove a little bit of tape until I position my layout, and once I know where I want it, I just press down and pull that out. So this is the very first flap. Now if you remember, on my other album I have a double flap, so all I did is add a second layer here, some double-sided tape, and we placed it right on top again. So if you want to do the double flap, you will do that. I'm only gonna do the one flap for now because I don't want my gatefold album to be too thick. So on the other side, on the back of this album, of this page, I'm going to use one of the pieces that are like this, kind of like a trifold, and I'm going to add the double-sided tape again on my flap. Okay, and I'm going to again peel my tape just a little bit, and I'm gonna make sure it's aligned on the side and center up and down. And then I'm just gonna take off this tape, which it kind of broke, so take it off like this. Okay. Alright, so now we have kind of like an accordion opening for this page here. So this is gonna be our first layout, or page 1. So for page 2, again, I'm gonna start with one of my base pages, and for this one, I'm going to use the one that has the flap opening on the side, like this, to this side, and I'm going to add, again, my tape. Just like that. And let's see, oops, I cut it a little bit too far. So, and then this one is going to go on, so if you have your opening on the left again, I'm going to place this one on the right side. Just like that. So I'm gonna hold it here where I have the sticky part and take that out and press. So now I have a flap to the side. I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to add another one with the side flap here, and I'm going to put this one on the other side. So again, I'm adding my tape. Right there. And I'm just going to peel just a tiny bit off and place it on the other side of my layer. Oops. Make sure it's straight, and here we go. So now on this page we will have an opening to this side and to this side, and as a closure I'm going to add some seam binding, or you can add some magnets, whatever you like. So I'm gonna turn this around and work on the other side now. So now we have our opening on the right, and for this page I'm going to add a little pocket. So see, now we have everything ready just to mix and match and just have fun making your layouts. So make sure it's flat here, and then I'm going to add, I think I need to trim this just a little more so it's not too bulky. So I'm going to add my tape along the sides. I have, oops, 2. And this side as well. Okay. And then I'm just going to take off these tapes and put my pocket. Now for the pocket, it's a little bit tricky, so I just take out all the tape at once. So I would prefer to use glue, but I don't have any glue. But anyway, so just make sure you are aligned to, so if you align yourself to one corner, then the other one should be just fine. So here we go. So just like that. Okay. So now I have 2 pieces of 5 by 5.5, and I score 1/2 inch on the 5.5 inch side here. So I score 1/2 inch, and I'm gonna do this as a flap and add this on the top here. So where you have your pocket, you will have kind of like a flap going on the top. So I'm gonna add my tape. And oops, it's always hard to do this with your nails. So then I'm just going to align these on the top, just like that, and take off the tape. So then I will have a flap opening to the top, If you would like, you can add a second one on top of that as well. And I think I'm gonna do it just to add some fun elements into my album here. So I'm gonna use my little tool, and again I'm gonna align right on top of the one that we just added, and just take off the tape. Here we go. So then we will have like a little kind of like a waterfall, but not really. And then what I like about this pocket is that you can use let me show you here. I have a piece of scraps, any piece of scraps that you have, like this piece for example, and we can turn it into a little journaling spot and use the pocket as a closure. So since I already have this piece, what I'm gonna do is round the corners just so it looks more finished. And I'm gonna place it here just so I don't forget to make a tag later on. But now we have this side like that, and then we have this side that we just completed like so. For my next layout, I'm going to use two pieces of 5.5 by 4, and I'm sorry I cut this ahead. I guess I was cutting things and I forgot to record this part, but this is a 5.5 by 4. So we're going to use actually 4.25, but you can do 4 as well. And then you're gonna score at 1/2 inch again, and then we are going to need 2 of those. And I'm going to add my double-sided tape again on the flap. So let me just do both here. It's like this one and this one. And we're going to place one. Let me see if I can do this with my nails. We're going to place one. Again, make sure your opening is on the left. I'm going to place one on the left side, on the top, and one on the right side, on the bottom. Okay, so make sure it's aligned before you press, and you take that out. So then we are going to have a flap to that side and one to that side. And if you just look up close, I actually left a little bit of room here. You don't have to do that, but I like to see the white border around, so that's why I do that. And then for the other side, I'm going to use one of my pages that had the flap on the opening, and remember this measures 5.5. So I'm actually gonna trim that just a little bit till 5 inches. Here, hold on. So I'm going to reduce that to 5 inches. And I'm going to place this right on the top. Right there. So again, my tape. And you place this right along the top and center. Just like that. And I'm going to use 2 pieces of 5 by 5 that I score 1/2 inch on one of the sides. So you're gonna have 2 pieces like these with 2 flaps on the side. So, and then these ones, I'm gonna add some tape again. And then I'm gonna open my flap to the top, and I'm going to place these ones, one on each side. I just can't do that. So one on each side. So I'm gonna start with this one on this side. right on the center too, and then we're gonna put the other one right on this side as well. So then we will close this like this and like that. And again, you can add a magnet here, you can add some seam binding, or you can add a little pocket down here and kind of do something like this here. See, you have a little pocket here, and this opens up like that and like that, and then you have all this room for pictures, and even the little card here has room for more pictures as well. So to make the little pocket, you're just going to need a piece. I'm gonna use one of my scrap pieces here. So you're gonna need, let's see here, a piece of 2.5 inches by 6 inches. So I'm gonna cut this at 6 first. 6 by 2.5. So just a little piece like that, like this. We're gonna score along the 3 sides. Okay, so I'm gonna score along half here, half on this side, and half on this side, which I already did. And then again, we're just gonna trim the corners just like we did the other pockets, just like that. And then we're gonna add some tape or glue and just place it. Let's open this up. We'll just place it on the top flap like this. So I put my tape in here, and I'm just getting ready to add my little pocket. So I'm just going to make sure it's even and straight, and here we go. Oh, you know what? I think my pocket is too big. No. So I'm gonna take this out. Oh, I got lucky. So don't do what I did. So we're going to make sure this pocket, let's fix this right now. So let's see here. So my pocket, we cut this piece at 2.5. So we were supposed to cut it at 2. So your pocket only measures 1.5. Okay. So that way you can still close this up. Okay, so not too bad. It didn't break. So I'm going to just add more tape and glue it back up. So remember that this piece needs to be 6 by 2, not 6 by 2.5. So here we go. Oops, I can't take this. So I think this should be fine. Okay, so now we're gonna press this hard, and now we're able to close this. And if you use some of your scrap pieces to make a card, again, you have another fun closure here. So let's move on to the next page. So for this next page, I'm going to use the flaps, the pages that have the flap on the side, like this. And my idea is to place one on this side, and then we're gonna place the other one right on top of this one here, like this. So we'll put these two together and have kind of like an accordion fold. And before I do that, I'm going to add some seam binding for my closure. So I'm just gonna just cut 2 pieces here, and I am going to put these 2 on both sides of my main base page. So I'm going to add my fabric tag here on this side and a little bit on this other side. And I'm just going to put my seam binding there and there. And then on this side, I'm just going to secure it with some double-sided tape. And then I'm going to use one of my pages, add some tape, okay, and then I'm going to just peel a little bit off, and I'm going to place it right on the left side, right on top of my seam binding, and just take this tape off, and here we go. So now we have one flap, and then the second one, again I'm going to add the tape, just like that. And now this one will go, peel a little bit off again. So on the flap here, on this one, that's where we're going to place it. So make sure it's aligned and even. And then I'm just gonna hold it and take off my tape. So now we have a page that would open like this, and also like so. And then of course we're gonna cover all of that with the design paper. And then as a closure, we have a seam binding closure for this page. Now on the back, I want to do a waterfall here, so I'm going to do that after, because I'll do those after I put my paper. So I'm gonna put this one on the side, and then let's work on the last three. Now if you are only doing an album like this, you are basically done doing your page layouts. But for the gatefold mini album, we're gonna continue and do 3 more layouts. So now your front page will be the other side. So now you want to make sure for your front page, your page opening, it's on the right, and this will be your back page. I guess it doesn't matter when we put which side you have the layouts, but just so if you really want to make it exactly like I'm doing it, that is going to be your front page with the opening on the side. So now I'm kind of looking here what I have left. So I have the ones that have the flap on the top, which is what I'm going to do for this one, but I'm going to do one on this side on the top and one on the bottom. So for the one that's going to go on the bottom, I'm going to trim just a 1/4 inch on this one, the one on the bottom. That way my page will close easily. So let's start with that one. Again, some tape, and let's make sure it's aligned and even to the page. And I'm just gonna take that out, and then I'm gonna open that one and then just place the one for the top. So again, the tape, and I'm gonna peel this out and place these along the top. Just like that. So now, because we trim a little bit on the bottom, this page can now close easily. Alright, so now we're gonna work on the other side here, and I'm just going to do, so let me think. So this page is gonna be like this, and then it's actually gonna open like this, right? So I'm going to put my flap on this side, and I'm gonna use the one, you know, the flap on the side, And I guess it doesn't matter which way you do it. So just make sure it's on one of the sides. So we have that one, and I'm going to place the ones that are gonna go on the other side of the gatefold on a separate pile. Now I have two left, so for those two I'm just going to simply make a pocket out of one of them. So I'm just making sure again is even to the page, and then I'm gonna press, and here we go. So now we have just a pocket, and I always like to have just simple pockets because it allows me to make multiple tags for that page. So I'm gonna flip that around, and now we have the other one, this other page that we made that almost looks like a excuse me, like a card with the flap. So again, I'm just going to add this on the side here. And I want this album to have a lot of seam binding, so it's more shabby-ish, instead of using a bunch of magnets. That's why I'm not doing so many magnets in here. So here we go. So now this page has the fun flap like we did before. So again, I'm gonna make this one on this pile, and we have our last page. And I am simply just going to add the last piece here that I have, and just add it. So I have the flap on the top here, and then for the back I'm going to leave it plain. I don't want to overstuff my album because it is a gatefold album, and you want to make sure it closes and you have enough room to add pictures. So towards the end, when we're building the album, on this back page here, we can probably add a waterfall depending on how much room we have. So now we have all of our layouts completed. So I'm just going to go ahead and number mine because I don't want to get them confused. So this one will be my number 1, and I'm just gonna put it on the top on the first page. So this is 2. This one with the 2 flaps was 3. That doesn't look like a 3. And this one was number 4. And these are on this side. And then here I have number 5, number 6, and lastly my number 7 with the flip on the top. So we are going to continue on part 3 when I'm going to be adding the paper and adding the embellishments. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.